You know, this ain't the very first Disney sequel they ever did in the 90s, don't you think? The Rescuers Down Under was the very first one they did, and in 1990, and this is basically their second one. Those of you already watched the movie before, yeah, you pretty much know how this goes. Oh, everybody already talked about the return of Jafar. For me, it's not the worst Disney sequel out there, but believe me, I did talk about The Jungle Book 2, and I still think it wasn't awful. Sure, they think it's a pointless sequel, but now we're talking about this one, Return of Jafar. First of all, the animation is different than the movie. You can tell this is a Saturday morning cartoon. And I will not talk about some of these scenes too much. Instead, some of the new interesting villains, like Opus Mall. Get it? Opus Mall? Voiced by Jason Alexander. The very first time he plays a Disney villain in this one, and part of the series. But anyhow, a part of this movie that Jafar has returned, and so is the noxious bird Iago, played by Gilbert Gottfried. And seeks his revenge to get Aladdin. And yes, you're hearing this correctly. And just like the first movie, it had to have songs, and this film's pretty much about Iago redeeming himself. I will not do like a full 20-minute of this video, because as I want to make sure this video becomes a little bit shorter. Anyhow, our hero Aladdin does take all the treasures back to the poor people. And stumbles upon Iago. Thinking he's a traitor, but he saves their lives from Opus Mall's henchmen. And here's my favorite part of this movie.
What is the trouble here? It is that thief,
I love the way he says that.
The trouble here. It is that thief,
Opus Mall. Anyhow, they make their escape, and Aladdin is happy that Iago saved their life from danger. And Aladdin had no choice but to hide Iago from Jasmine, who's obviously still the kind-hearted, nice, and rich. It's to Aladdin. And guess who returns? The genie.
Genie! You came back! Watch the sun burn! Kidding.
And like I said, he's voiced by Dan Castellaneta. When I was a kid, I thought it was going to be Robin Williams. But since it's been 20 years now, he's voiced by, I'm not kidding, about what I just said a few seconds ago. That plays Homer Simpson.
Did you miss me?
And he's already been around the world and played that interesting catchy song. Home Again, which I actually like. like I said, I don't mind Dan Castaneda voicing the genie, even though he's not like Robin Williams, but tries his best to be entertaining. Anyhow, while Abismal finds the lamp, and then tries to have no choice but to set Jafar free from his prison for free wishes. So it's up to our heroes, Aladdin, Jasmine, and the others to defeat Jafar once again. And let them, Iago will help them too. But he has no choice but to betray Aladdin once again. Because Jafar returns. Or it's like the title says. And telling them to enjoy their trip, leaving them defenseless. And we get a pretty epic battle between Jafar and the genie. And we get another interesting song called Second Place, which I actually like too. Which says YouTube already has tons of that song and most likely crossovers. To not give too much away, you have to watch the whole movie for yourself. Aladdin gets flamed to make it look like he murdered the Sultan. But Jafar shapeshifts into Princess Jasmine. But luckily, Iago has a change of heart to save Aladdin and free the genie. And somehow the guards don't see Jafar's face. He's in the final battle will finally begin and destroy the Jafar's lamp from him being free. And as you can tell, it goes half as well as you think. Luckily, our hero Iago defeats Jafar, which is almost the very time we actually see Jafar actually dies. He's in this movie and comes back in later part of the series. Especially the crossover of Hercules and Aladdin, Arabian Nights, from 1998, which is totally worth seeing. As you can tell, this was pretty much meant to be a TV series, like it just says. Believe it or not, I actually like this movie. I mean, right next to Aladdin, the King of Thieves. And that third one was way better than the sequel. I don't know why people complain about not liking most of the movies from my childhood. But again, this is not the worst sequel I would think it would be. But meant to be a TV series to be E1. Sure, they did not hire Robin Williams to be in this film. But his last role was actually not only that he was in Aladdin the King of Thieves, but in another Aladdin game that's basically for learning for children. Sure, they had to come up with basic ideas to make the sequel entertaining for children. Back in the 90s, it was fun to watch. Now, teenagers, including myself, would think it would be a bad sequel. But trust me, I'll probably get to one of those other Disney sequels in the near future. Or I'm just making this video a little bit short for like less than maybe 11 minutes. Sure, the animation's budget looks a little bit strange, and because it's supposed to be like an Australian in animation and a company of Toon Disney. You know those Saturday morning cartoons from the early 90s for young kiddies? This is basically what it is for young kids. I do like the backgrounds, I do like the characters' voice acting. Hate to admit it, I actually find this movie quite enjoyable. I know what you're thinking, and you'll probably put dislike on my video or not, but I would not think this sequel is not as worse as the one I talked about yesterday about the PlayStation 1 game. At least this one had time and effort into it. All I can say is, if you're like a huge Aladdin fan, you can probably watch the very first one I just talked about. You might like this movie or hate it. This movie will always be part of my childhood. And even though it was directed on VHS tape since 1994, and now it's on DVD since 2005. Guess if you like Aladdin very much, you might actually enjoy it.
Oh, yes, the genie. I don't know why everyone thinks he's so great. I mean, so he's funny and he can grant wishes. Big deal. What's he got that I don't?
I mean, yeah.
It's about time. I thought you were never going to make a decision.
If you really like Aladdin movies, this will be for you. So I give this movie, not being as awful as the game I talked about yesterday, I give this one a 6 out of 10. Since I like animated sequel movies, except for Mulan 2, which I'll get to another time, and the first one. For now, thanks for watching, and boy, we had a great time talking about this one. I'm sure most of you will disagree about me about this movie. Sure, you'll say, oh, the animation doesn't look half good as the first film. Oh, they did not bring back Robert Williams to play the genie. Oh, Iago's so annoying. Well, to me, in this movie, he's not too annoying, but in the TV show, believe me, he's incredibly annoying in one of the episodes. But I still love watching the TV show in this movie. So, goodbye for now. Oh, and I'll probably put this back at my stacks of movies and games. Ta-ta for now.